セガサターンシロ
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SHIRO Show. I am Patrick, and this is Dave, back from the dead. Or, I guess you didn't. I don't think you died, right?
Hang
Dave?
loose, aloha. Oh, you got the comments on my face.
Sorry, you're not that important anymore, so your comments over. No, yeah, that was for last week, just so it was in the middle. But yeah, welcome to the show. Dave is back from Hawaii. He got a sick tan. Looking very nice.
I think that's just the white balance on my camera.
No, I'm pretty sure it's your tan. I'm pretty sure it's your tan.
What's up, everybody?
You got some sick tan, guys. Look at that.
Lots of driving, though. Is the stream borked? I don't know.
I'm gonna try and maybe stop the virtual cam. Maybe I'll log it up a bit. It's decent. It's kind of like very blurry, unfortunately, due to my internet not being good, because apparently Fox is being dumb.
Stream is buffering.
Yeah, you might need to grab it.
Okay. Well, let's hope I did the credits right.
It's
okay. Hold on a sec.
You have to hit
I
manage
did that.
recording and then start streaming, and it should start.
Yeah, I said start stream. I don't think. Okay. I mean, it should be streaming though, right? Yeah, like I didn't have to press anything, so.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm good.
We're streaming now.
We're good. We're streaming. Hey, we're live.
Yeah, welcome back.
Okay.
Welcome back, guys. Nothing weird happens.
Nothing out of the ordinary. It's all good.
Start. Welcome to the SHIRO Show. Patrick, and this is your host, Patrick and Dave, or TraynoCo and SaturnDave. Depending on which side you're on.
Okay,
so. I don't know which side you'd be on, but you're on somebody's side.
Never a dull moment. Okay, so
exactly.
How does how's Pat looking in size wise compared? I have to make sure that he's.
I look about the same.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm on the side of justice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I ordered a new camera. I was telling Pat, and hopefully it comes tomorrow. And
I'm not making out with you. Stop. No. Stop. I don't want to make out with you.
Oh my God! It's so delayed. That was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. I refreshed. It's good to go.
Okay.
I can't see Dave's camera, so I don't know if he's having me make out with him or not on air.
Anyway,
I don't consent you to do that.
Okay, so yeah. So now that we've got everything adjusted and I think it's all running okay. Yeah. So I got the Keo Pro Ultra that's out now, which is supposed to be amazing because it's an awesome 4K camera. Means that Razer just dropped the Keo Pro to like $95, and it's a really good low light camera. That's what it's like. That's what it does the best, is like really good in low light situations, which is me. So hopefully I get it tomorrow and I'll be able to test it out, and hopefully that'll improve my image. And if it does, then I think Pat will get one too, and it'll improve.
We'll match up. We'll be camera bros. I'll steal his camera.
Camera bros.
He'll steal his camera.
Yeah.
We'll be stealing each other's camera. I'll throw his old one in the ocean.
Well, so the one that I'm using right now, the good thing about it is it is wide angle, so I could probably just use it as an overhead cam, like for showing off, I don't know, show and tell stuff. Like this is.
I didn't even think of that. That's a good ass idea.
Use it for a secondary cam. But anyway, you see if the browser works. Okay, hold on a second. Go get Jesse to do it. Go get Jesse to do it. Go.
Oh.
Jesse slept. Jesse's sleeping on his responsibility to keep Junie out of the garage during the show.
It's all good. It's all good. Throwing the kids under the bus, but yeah, actually, that's a good idea. Maybe we get like a little maybe we put a CRT on the counter where that is, and have like a overhead cam set. If we're doing show and tell, we can like switch cameras or something.
That's what I thought. Like something like I mean, if we can bring up the browser, then we can equally have another window just designed for show and tell stuff, and then use the overhead cam for that kind of thing, for unboxings and stuff like that. It would be cool.
Because that'd be pretty cool. Like just have a CRT on the desk and just have like a little window with the other camera pointed in there for the capture device.
Yeah, something like that. I hate to. I mean, I'm not. I'm not going to be able to sell it for anything, and I hate to just have it go to waste. So having a second cam will be good for that kind of thing.
I mean, why not? That's perfect. I mean, we don't need to see the items in HD. Let me tell you, I think the camera's in HD, so it'd be like, you know, so we'll figure it out. We're smart people.
I did catch some of the show you did. I caught it a little bit when I was on vacation, like I was listening to it, and then this morning in the car, like I was listening to it like I would a podcast, and it was fun. I didn't get as far. I got as far as the Gretsch Tech thing that you got. You were kind of opening and talking about, but I didn't get to see you actually test it out, so I didn't get that far.
It was pretty cool. I tested out an Ogre Battle. Was that the week that I installed the Fenrir, or was that the week before? I can't remember.
The week before, I think. 2 weeks before, I think you installed the Fenrir. Well, I think you installed the Fenrir when I wasn't there either. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, I installed the Fenrir, so that was fun. We played with that. The Gretsch Tech thing, honestly, I'm actually pretty amazed with it. You know, it's like, baby, I'm amazed at the way you love me all the time. Sort of like that, but less Paul McCartney.
It was just, so it's Blue Retro, so it just basically connected immediately, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's really cool. It's like I hit the PlayStation button and it synced up on them. I was like, "What the heck? What's going on here?" And every time I turn the PlayStation 4 with that on, it auto syncs. So yeah, it's really cool. Honestly, that might be my new way of playing Saturn is with a PlayStation controller.
Yeah, you can do it.
Man, that sounded blasphemous.
Honestly, I would never. Not with that D-pad, but but if you want to, you do you. Honestly, the strength of this thing, I don't even know where. I don't.
The D-pad actually is pretty good on the PlayStation 4.
The strength of this thing is really the fact that it's got a really strong radio in it, and you can place it anywhere to avoid interference with other signals or other devices, you know? And the other cool thing about it is essentially that you can connect multiple Bluetooth controllers to this one radio versus having 2 or 3 little Bluetooth dongles all kind of crowded around each other, which from what I understand causes them to fight with each other for signal dominance.
Each other, like,
well, yeah, they just keep ramping up power to try to shout over one another, basically. And what it does is it causes them to get to a point where they just reset, and then you disconnect, and then it starts all over, and it's like a never-ending cycle. Also, you don't really want to plug that many dongles into your old consoles because they'll draw more power than it's really. Whereas this will just draw the power from a single, you know. It'll just basically draw 5, I think, 5 volts. But
I have a question.
What's that?
I have a question.
Yeah, what's that?
How do you change the plug to go from a Saturn to something else?
It uses a header, basically. It uses like a standard header, and this is a very DIY kind of project. You would grab an old controller that maybe the controller is borked, but you can use the cable, or you can buy one of those cheap Saturn controllers on Amazon, which is what they've used here. It's just like one of those cheap plastic. But essentially, you'd grab one of those and you would just connect it onto the header harness, which can take up to like 6 controllers. And then he sells it through his site. He sells like the header that you can use to use different controllers with. But it's very much a DIY thing. Like, I would say if you had, if you wanted to do like multiplayer with N64 or something like that, I mean, you're gonna need at least the 4 to plug into the N64, and that would use there are like 4 holes on the back here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'd plug 4 controllers in there and wire them up on this universal header that he put in there.
Dave, your finger. I don't know. Did you like paint? Your fingers are like chroma keying out.
Oh yeah. Isn't that funny? Like, I don't know why that happens. See, when I shine the light right on my hand, it keys out. But like, does that mean that my hand is green? No, I don't know why it does that. That's so weird.
It's like you look like the Invisible Touch album.
That's another thing that I'm hoping that this new camera helps with. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be better at keying stuff out. Shout
out to Derek, aka A-Team, in the chat for being a bro.
Oh, is he in
There's
the Discord chat?
Yeah, no, he's doing a lot of cool projects. We've been talking recently.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of cool things that he's got coming up that I'm excited about. So
anything we can talk about?
Nakamura. Nah, no, it's all we. I mean, besides the Nakamura or Nakaruru.
Yeah, I got you.
Nakaruru is sick. That one I'm excited. He's telling me about him doing that. We had a really good chat recently about stuff, and he's got a lot of cool projects. Some I can't talk about, but some that's really cool. So I'm excited. Hopefully I'm not letting it slip, Derek. But I just want to let everyone know that I have really great conversations with you because I love you, my dude.
Okay.
Shouts out.
Now I want to know. No, but we won't talk about it here. We can talk about it after the show.
But we can talk about it after the rock show. Was it the girl at the rock show, whatever? You've
been painting more dollies, I heard.
Yeah, I've been painting a lot of Warhammer stuff. Been playing Tau. I actually won my first match. I won my first match against my roommates, so I'm very happy about that. I played against this Imperial Guard and blew them all to shit. But there's a lot of fun. Also, we can curse now on the show. YouTube made the rules vague, so we can actually curse now. So we can say all the fucks and shits and pisses we want.
Wait, what? This is news to me. I did not.
As long as it's not in the first 30 seconds or something, or a minute, you can. So we can now say fuck on the show. Congratulations, guys. Even though we allowed it, we can now say fuck on our own show. Can you fucking believe it?
Okay. I had no idea. I can't.
We're not gonna abuse it.
I honestly can't keep up with all of the stuff that YouTube does.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use it experimentally still because I don't like talk cursing that much. But yeah,
I started uploading music to our SHIRO shorts since we don't monetize shorts anyway. We're not even set up to monetize shorts, and I'm just like, you know what? Copyright strike this.
Yeah, I mean it's actually kind of cool. Just little tracks, maybe a.
Yeah,
a track that we
it's like 60 seconds and it fades out, and hopefully it encourages people to go check out more of the music on Saturn, But I mean, at the end of the day, it's
Night got us. Night's out of the bag. We're translating the U.S. version of Sonic Adventure 1 to English. He got us. Derek, sorry about that. He found out.
Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah, I was gonna be the voice of Sonic 2, but now I can. He's gonna cancel me off the project. He's gonna have to delegate me to be in Big the Cat now.
I just realized I need to. I don't have the comments now that I'm running the show, so I need to get on that.
You're missing out on the good comments.
I know, right?
Yeah, Derek's sad now. Yeah, thanks, Knight. You just made Derek very sad that you ruined his big smash hit project. He's sad. But yeah, no. But yeah, no. It's all exciting. It's all exciting stuff. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Warhammer 40k a lot. Yeah. My cat idolizes you, and this tries to meow at all your patisms. It's no longer squeaky. He's no longer squeaky clean. Hey, you know what? I'm glad I have some isms. I have patisms. I don't know what is a patism. If somebody knows in chat, give me an example of a patism.
The fact that you like your go-to joke is that everything is trash, even when it's not, even when it's something you like, you're like, that's garbage. Burn it.
Yeah, Warhammer is trash though. Not gonna lie, it is actually kind of trash, but I enjoy it. It's good trash, but it is trash.
Hey, 8-Bit, how's it going?
That's fair. Yo, 8-Bit, much love to the Bitmap Bureau.
I'm all thrown off by us having to swap running the show. I had some idea of what we were gonna do for an intro, and now we're just killing time here. But
what
yeah,
what were you gonna do for the intro? It's not too late.
Well,
it's not too late.
What was I gonna talk about? There was something else.
You were gonna talk about something.
Yeah, there was something else besides
your Hawaii trip. You were gonna tell me what happened in Hawaii.
I thought I did. We did a lot of driving. We did a luau. We saw turtles on a reef. That was fun, actually. Ate a lot of Hawaiian food. A lot of plate lunch and malasadas. I drank a lot of Mai Tais. Almost vomited in the parking lot. All you can eat. All you can drink. Right.
Honestly,
I was like, I'm gonna take two. One for me and one for my friend. Yeah. One for my friend.
One for Dave, one for Dave. Dave's his best friend, so he drank it for his best friend.
Yeah.
No, he drank it for me. He was like, it was for Pat, but he wasn't there, so I drank it in his stead.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, when we go to a con, we need to actually go out and like have a good time.
We do.
Again, versus
Oh my
working
God.
it.
Yeah.
But
Next time,
honestly,
we're not gonna work it. We're just gonna have fun.
Yeah, honestly, I need. I think I told you, like, I kind of want to hit up Bob and see what conventions he's doing, and we'll find one that he's doing, and we'll see if we can like bar our way in there.
Yeah.
And just like even if we're not guests, we just relax, look around, maybe go on the panel with Bob or something, and just like look around, like check out all the cool things, play games, go to bars after, get drunk, go to the hotel rooms and get incredibly and do some things, and then wake up incredibly sick and tired, and then go to the con like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Your poor internet.
That'd be fun.
Your poor internet is like not giving me much to work with here. Your upload speed on your Discord videos.
It's killing me. It's
not great.
Quest is getting
Cox
is getting a nasty letter.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You need to call them and chew them out. But
I like David saying petty tattoo jealousy. Yeah, that's fair. That's actually really funny.
I want to get Pat on the do an editor's corner with you. I think it sounded like a good idea to talk about like all the patches that have happened, and we can go all the way back.
History, like we break
down.
Yeah,
well, let's go all the way back to like the sorry, like what was the first? What was the first? I bet. That is going back.
Technically, it would be Osaka 120% burning.
Osaka 120%, sure, but did that
technically?
What about Night? What about Shining Force 3? Like you were working on that a decade ago, or over a decade ago. Like
almost 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Would you say that was like officially the first translation patch for Saturn?
I would say probably the first full game completed. Somewhere around there.
First full game.
Whereas like there are other patches like the Ninpen that had like
which is not finished.
The main stuff finished, and
yeah,
there were a couple little ones.
Right. Osaka is pretty old. That's exactly what I want to do though. I want to go back and chart it out with Pat and talk about like all of the patch translations that have happened over the years and stuff like that, and how much it like blew our minds when that would be a fun topic to cover since we have so much to talk about now. It's one thing when you only have like a few, but like we could fill an entire podcast just talking about all of the patches and stuff. But yeah, what else do we want to talk about? What else is going on in the Saturn community? I know that more people have joined our tunnel, our Netlink tunnel, and are good to go on that. So that's cool. I'm kind of seeing lurking in the Saturn Online Discord channel when I can. This week I've been really, really busy with work and catching up, after the vacation. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to do much, but I'm excited to see.
USA.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see more people getting online with their Saturns. I did have a comment on YouTube that's like, or was it YouTube or Twitter that was like, when is Wackenroder coming out? Like,
that was Twitter. I saw that.
When Knight is good and ready to finish it. Right now he's trying to bring Saturn Online to the masses.
Yeah, to be fair though, the way that it was worded was, I mean, yeah, it was a little bit more. It was all courteous. It was all good, but
sure.
But yeah, no, yeah, sorry, I didn't know you were gonna say that the Saturn Online, but yeah, he said, that's actually way better, because he was like, that's way better. Forget Walking just to work on that. That's more important, which I agree.
Well, it's also just like these are free projects, right? And people at the end of the day are going to work on what they're interested in, right? What they're passionate about.
Yeah.
About if you're going to burn out if you end up working on something that doesn't really even matter to you, And so
yeah. I mean, technically, Knight's still working on Shining Force Shining Force 3 after all these years as well, right?
Well, he said it's the other folks that are doing most of the work, right?
I mean, he probably dips his head in there.
Oh, I do a lot of stuff, but it's still.
You do? Okay, cool. But you told me not to give you any credit on my last article.
Well, because it's an entire team effort. I hate when it's just my name when there's a bunch of us working on it.
Right. Fair. Cool. All right.
Yeah. It's like he's just like the guy that they're bringing for he's like what's his name? The guy was a CEO of Nintendo for a while, but then passed away.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Crap, I forgot what his name is.
You mean
he does the hand gesture?
Iwata?
Yeah, Iwata. He's like the Iwata of the thing, where it's like they need a ringer to like make fix some issues, and like he just comes in and just like does his magic.
Did Trekkies make an announcement about a project recently? Or am I imagining that?
I don't remember him.
He did.
Oh, he did?
He did. Was that a
Soul
public?
Hackers.
Soul Hackers. Trekkies is doing Soul Hackers.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he's making some really good progress on Soul Hackers.
Okay.
I able to add a bunch of text into it. I think there's only like some other things. So, yeah, it might be pretty close of being ready. You just need to get over those hurdles, and we could get Soul Hackers on the.
I would have liked to write an article about that, but I just didn't have time with everything catching up from work. But we'll get that on the site so that at least folks know about it. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited for that, actually.
Yeah, this is Dan Threx here. I listed a few story ideas to you a couple days ago,
and it was in there. It was in there. Yep.
And yes, Trekkie's announcement was in there. If you want, I can, kind of read off those headlines real quick.
Actually, yeah. Why don't you can join us? Let's go through what we have on the site, and then let's just talk all of those updates, and we can just talk together about all of them. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so
fun.
Save those, Dan, and we'll get on all of that stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring up the browser real quick, and we have got like three things to talk about. One of them is the big one, which is the article that Dan wrote, which is amazing. I want to give that plenty of space.
Oh yeah, crap. That's not insulted really quick. Oh yeah.
Actually, there's a ton of great stuff in that article that I want to talk about. So for sure.
Same.
Okay, so let's bring up the browser here, and I've got the ugly tab showing. Okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then like make this a little smaller here. There we go. All right.
Discord mute button.
Okay, so just starting off, there was the editor's corner. I think we talked about this last time that we had done it, but it wasn't live yet. So anyway, if you guys haven't checked it out, check out the latest editor's corner with James and Dan from the Sega guys. They're awesome guys. It was fun just laughing with them and listening to their stories about being a Saturn fan in the UK. Not as much of an
antidote of one of them stealing the Saturn manual.
He stole that from his uncle. So he had a cool uncle that just bought every piece of kit, every piece of technology, because he had just nothing better to spend his money on, I guess. And he stole he stole it out of his uncle's out of the box and took it to school to prove to his friends that he did have early access, or earlier than most kids who couldn't afford that console. That was funny. And also it was sad to hear about Dan's disc 2 of Panzer Dragoon Saga. Like day one that he got it, some kid kicked a ball at his bike and caused him to fall over and break disc 2 of his PDS. So that sucked.
Hopefully he was able to get it fixed.
He ended up
get a new one.
He couldn't get a new one at the time because
it's rare as hell.
Yeah, it was, but he was able to eventually get a disc 2. Somewhere in the mid.
I'm glad he got that sorted.
It was fun. It was just fun talking to them. Mostly just listening to their stories, and we had a few laughs. And so you guys should definitely check it out. They do an amazing podcast as well. So you guys should definitely sub to them and listen to. I think they just covered Cosmic Smash, and they recently did an interview with Tom from the Dreamcast Junkyard, which was great too. So definitely give them a listen. And I'm hoping that we can continue in the tradition of getting more UK representation on the show and on the SHIRO show, on the podcast, all that stuff, because I feel like
I know what Shadowmaster's saying. I listened to the podcast. I heard the episode.
Dave does fantasy moderating the discussion.
I literally just brought up the antidote that he
just said he listened to it. Well, what I was going to say, though, is that all combined, US and UK, European, well, not just UK, like Portugal as well, like US and European Saturn fans, all combined, we might actually be, equal to the number of fans that were in Japan, but I doubt it. There were like a lot of Saturn fans in Japan, and us Western fans were just like scattered across. It was just crazy.
But you did a great job on the podcast. I definitely like it, and I was gonna say, hopefully they invite us on their podcast. I'd love to go on and talk with them.
Definitely. Well,
about being a US fan.
They should, yeah. See, and that's the thing too, is I hope I didn't do too much talking, because I really wanted them to do most of it, obviously, because they have, so that folks
you did a good job moderating. I heard more of them than you, but that's good.
Good.
I mean, that's what you're that's what you're going for. I knew that's what you were going for to begin with. So,
but it's a discipline for me, because I talk too much as it is, and I can easily get caught up. I can easily.
Unfortunately, I can't make you disappear like on because I don't control the show. I can't hit the.
But you can mute my
button.
like usually Pat can mute my mic. Before we talk about the perks of PAL gaming, which actually does fold into this, and Dan spent 10 hours from what I understand on this article, so I really want to give it its due. I just want to touch on this really quick. Tilk, the girl from the Blue Sea. So it's really funny. This is yet another really obscure Saturn game that really also got a PlayStation. It also got a PlayStation release, and it's obscure enough that it doesn't even have a Moby Games listing, which I noticed, which was kind of weird. It's listed on a few sites. It's listed on like Launchbox, and it's listed. It might not be listed.
Oh my god! I literally just Googled it. We're the first result if you Google that game.
Yeah, is that crazy?
Like literally, I put that article up. Did
you Google Tilk girl from the Blue Sea?
Yeah.
Okay, because if you Google you go Launchbox Games, and you go Tilk. Let's see here. So the real title of it is this right here: Tilk Aoi Umi Karakita Shoujo. So that's, if you look up that, you're going to find a lot of other things online. But I think Peter's the only one who's actually translated that and typed it up in an article. So that's why ours is coming up. But basically,
it's on an RPG blog with that same title, Girl from the Blue Sea Part 2.
Is it really? Okay. Well, anyway,
when was it?
You guys don't show up for me.
I was doing incognito. Maybe it's a regional thing.
It could be. Doesn't matter. Anyway, the point is that it is pretty. I don't know. It's pretty obscure. I want to go like YouTube real quick and show you guys Tilk Saturn.
Honestly, would be surprised if anybody looked into translating that.
Well, now you're getting a Grammarly ad. People are getting a Grammarly ad on the SHIRO show. So,
well, that's supposed to mean I can speak good. I can speak good and stuff.
It looks cool, actually. I have the funny thing is I have this on the satiator, and I've never fired it up. But it's actually got some really cool hand-drawn animation. And
it looks really pretty. I like the art of it.
Definitely. But I just so lots of folks have slept on this one and were not familiar with it. And apparently, enough that some really big outlets that are supposed to have all the games. Like, I think of Moby Games as a place that usually has everything. Like, usually they have really obscure stuff, but they don't have this. That's crazy. Anyway.
It's really weird.
Here's another one for people to maybe take a stab at translating someday. Who knows? Although
you never know.
Yeah, we don't. It's not like we have another English translation to use.
Yeah, because I don't think this has been released anywhere. Period.
Oh yeah, I forgot to read. What did he put? So, move over. Fire Emblem. Okay, Tilk, Girl from the Blue Sea, is a lighthearted tactical RPG that tells the tale of young Billy and his friends' exploits on the sleepy tropical island of Tilk, until a mysterious girl from the titular Blue Seas sets them on the adventure, battling crabs, monsters, and villains, alternating between story exposition scenes and simple SRPG battles. The game harkens back to a time of childhood innocence and lazy afternoons spent playing with friends in the sun. Sounds like Boku what am I trying to say? My summertime. Let's see. Multiple endings, gorgeous, hand-drawn graphics, and great music, all entice, but the language barrier is strong. Yeah, this is one of those definitely not English-friendly games.
Nazi Usami, I think Shadow put.
Natsuyatsume. Natsuyasume, that's what it is. Thank you, Shadow. Boku Natsuyasume. My summertime vacation or whatever. I think that there's a new game in that series, right? Coming to the Switch, I saw.
Oh, yeah. I was looking on the Wikipedia. It looks like there is a new one coming out.
Yeah.
Or at least a remake of it.
It's really cool. It's got a vibe. Like there was a game that we did get on the 3DS called Attack of the Friday Monsters that was kind of like in the same vein. It was a really fun game. And a cheap one, like a short gameplay experience, but a good one. So next, so Dan wrote up this article on the perks
I'm really behind. I just saw you going Grammarly on that thing. I am way behind.
Are you for real? Really? Maybe you don't have the stream, like maybe you need to
like hit something.
Yeah, put it all the way to the end. Okay, cool.
We're all good.
Yeah, so Dan did an article, and it was a really good one. It's one of those ones like Peter does, where it's like exhaustive and has every single title that the PAL territories got that we didn't get. So let's Dan, do you want to talk about this before just to preface it before we go into each game?
Yeah, I can say a couple words, I suppose. So this started with just my own curiosity of just wondering just how many games PAL territories have gotten that we didn't get in North America. Because I was aware of, a few games here and there, the sequel to Wipeout and, King of Fighters 95 and just, some of the more well-known games that we didn't get. And I noticed that sometimes Europeans who would be in our chat would see someone say, "Oh yeah, well we never got this one game or whatever," and they'd say, "Wait, really? You didn't?" Like some Europeans don't realize the exclusives they have over Americans. So I thought it would be interesting for both sides of the pond.
Yeah.
To take a look at all of the games that came out of Japan, but not to American shores. And I seriously went through an archive, let's say, a listing of links, just going through and looking at all the games that look like they were not, like for all the ones that were listed as EU, but didn't have a US version next to them. And then like kind of double checking against some other websites like Sega Retro. It was just a ton of, a ton of research.
Right.
Hopefully I got them all. I don't actually know.
That's pretty comprehensive to me. It's everything that I know.
Randomized gaming is a great source for like what games are optimized and stuff like that. I've often used that as well. So that's a great source. And you've got a link to that.
I wasn't going to include the optimizations at all in this article until right before I published it, as I'm like kind of proofreading it, looking it over and putting all the images in there and kind of sizing them and stuff in WordPress. I kind of realized, you know what? It might be, because a lot of Americans and Canadians or whatever are going to look at this article and be like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know this game was in English. I'd like to try it out. And they might know whether it's been optimized for 50 hertz, so it's going to have some kind of graphical weirdness when they actually try to play it on their NTSC TV, or if it hasn't been optimized 50 hertz and it'll look just fine. And it probably was kind of weird for Europeans playing it on, PAL sets.
Right.
So I like took an extra, however much time it was, I don't remember, just go through and just add whether each game was optimized for 50 hertz. So yeah, I came up with 35 titles. 33 of them are games and 2 of them are pieces of software, really.
I do like the tag at the bottom of the article. You could look at it, Dave. Just go to the bottom, look at the tags he put. I think the second tag is probably really funny to me.
Oh yeah.
What second? Oh, I'm not naming all 34 games down here in the tags.
Yeah.
Love
was
it.
funny. You thought I wouldn't see that, but I am attention to detail. I see stuff like that.
8-Bit
all the time.
SNK Boy says that he has a full PAL set, and that you feel that the USA got a better set of exclusives. I'm that may or may not be true, but I mean, looking at this list, there are actually some really, really good games on here. So I don't know.
And a lot of really, really not good games too.
There was a lot of trash for sure, including Trash It, which is like right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that
Right
Peter said it the best. It said the name implies what you should do with it.
Yeah, Trash
Hashtag
It.
worst. I think that was the worst of Saturn.
Yes, yeah, that is. So 3D Lemmings. I have the Japanese version of this, and of course, you know, it doesn't matter now. We can all play whatever games, you know, with the ODEs and or
We
the.
should just go through them and just like do like a like do something fun, like we do a sentence to describe each one.
3D Lemmings.
So it's a really fun game, but I wouldn't play it on Saturn.
Yeah, it feels like a microcomputer game, you know, which it really was, right? Wasn't it originally like Commodore Amiga or something, or Commodore 64? I don't know. Lemmings got to start way before the consoles.
Yeah, Actua Soccer Club Edition. Wow, they actually named it Actua Soccer Club
Featuring
Edition.
all Premiership clubs. So exciting. See, now I would sleep on that. I'm not. I mean, I have a couple soccer games in my collection, and they're mostly like the Sega stuff, you know, like first party Sega soccer games, 97 and 98. I'd be interested to know what British folks think is the best soccer game for the Saturn, because I prefer the first party Sega stuff. Yeah, right, football.
I do like how it's called Actua Soccer. That's kind of funny. They should.
Yeah, you can't give us a hard time about calling it a soccer game. It calls itself a soccer game.
It does, actually.
Hey, that's fair.
Actua Soccer.
That's
but you know, yeah, Gremlin actually did all the Actua stuff, and you had
I want Actua Cop.
Yeah, I do have an Actua game. What is it? They renamed them in the US. Can anybody tell me what it? Oh, VR. The VR Golf 97 was actually Actua Golf in the UK, but it's pretty good.
To be fair, Actua is a stupid name, so I don't blame them for changing it.
It's kind of like, man, Sega got Virtua. Well, what's ours like? Ours is like actually like the sport. Let's call it Actua. That's so funny. Right. Okay, Atlantis.
So Atlantis: The Lost Tales. Never played it. The TV show they based it off of was really good, though.
That's a joke. Okay,
yeah, Stargate Atlantis.
Actually,
I'm watching Stargate.
Atlantis: Lost Tales looks good, but again, it looks like another kind of game that I would rather play with a PC and a mouse than doing it on the Saturn. And Same. I know I like Myst on the Saturn, but I think that was just kind of like you had to be there. Like, it was all I had. It was the way I originally played Myst, so I have nostalgia for it. Whereas this, I have no nostalgia for, so I don't know that this would be a great experience. Do you have any thoughts on this, Dan? Atlantis: Lost Tales?
Well, I mean, my thoughts are right there on the site. It's
yeah, okay. He basically summed it up.
Shuttle mouse didn't come out in Europe, so I don't know what 3D Lemmings' excuse was for not using the shuttle mouse.
Yeah.
And they pretty much ported this to the Saturn in Europe because it was already successful on PCs in Europe, but it wasn't successful on PC in North America, so that's why we didn't get it on Saturn here.
Okay.
I'm guessing.
And they, you know what? They got a lot of games like this in their exclusives, which we'll go down the list, and you'll see there are actually a lot of games that are just like this, Atlantis. It's just a little clunky. When I'm looking at it in Let's Plays and stuff like that, it just seems a little clunky and slow. That's the only reason. 8-Bit says, no, the controls are bad. Gameplay is very dull. So I'll take his word for it.
Alrighty, what's the next one?
Chaos Control.
Chaos Control.
I hate this game.
Shadow the Hedgehog did it better. Shadow the Hedgehog, favorite game.
I have it on 3DO, and I don't like it there either.
Oh, see, yeah. I love light gun games, so this is one I haven't like, you know, put it on CD8 or anything and tried it out, but like I wish that we would have gotten it just because I think we should get all the light gun games because I think light gun games are fun. Yeah,
but it's one of those types where you basically everything is over a video background, you know, so you have like the action on the video background and then you shoot, and if you hit it, then it's like the background graphics don't really blend well with the foreground graphics. It's one of those kind of things. Like the 3DO had several of those where it was like a tiny little ship on top of a really grainy pixelated video background of the actual action that's happening rather than actually rendering all the graphics. So it's just one of those games that I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, I mean, it would have been cool if we got it. Creature Shock is kind of similar, I think, but better. Let me see here. Darius 2. This is one where I'm kind of jealous. Like, I would have liked Darius 2.
We got shafted on that.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
Darius 2, you got lucky.
And Nick's a huge Darius fan. I know he might even have a copy of this. I'm not sure. It might have been hard.
It's not optimized for PAL, so
right.
We can play it on NTSC.
Yeah, I have all of these on my satiator, but I definitely don't own a boxed copy of this. But yeah, it plays great on the Saturn. This is, of course, like probably the one I'm most jealous of, but subsequently I've played it, the unreleased English American version, but Deep Fear. This was the game that, like, reading the magazine.
This one I'm super salty that we never got.
I am too. Like, as a huge Resident Evil fan, I remember reading about this in the magazine and just hoping and wishing, like, I was like, I hope this is one of those last games that we get in North America, and it wasn't, you know.
It almost was.
Almost was.
Imagine expensive it would be if it was. Like, you thought you thought Pan's Dragoon Style was expensive. Imagine how much this would have been.
Yeah, and that's just the thing too, is they publishing games is expensive, and it sucks when you're left with, I mean, look at us publishing magazines and we've got a bunch of extra stock. Like, what happens if you print too many? What happens if you do a big run and it doesn't sell because Saturn is dead in the West, right? So it's like, I understand why they didn't release it, but again, as a kid, like, it was heartbreaking. I was like, I really want this game. And eventually I did get it. So Destruction Derby.
How many magazines do we have left?
We have a lot. I want to put together some kind of like compilation of all the reviews that we've gotten, so people and then, you know, just let folks know that there's like a limited, I mean, it's less than 100, but like still 100, but I mean, that's like, you know, these are you know, I don't think we're going to print any more of this first issue, so people need to grab them now while they can.
Exactly. It should gonna be coming soon. I guess by soon, sometime later this year, maybe.
Destruction Derby is another one I'm really
Destruction Derby?
optimized. Just the timer and the time trial code. So yeah, basically, this Destruction Derby plays great on a US Saturn, and it was a great game on the PlayStation and pretty good on the Saturn. What do folks in the comments think about Destruction Derby on Saturn?
Good game. But yeah, one of the things I want to say that I missed that I want to mention is that so another good thing about getting a PVM is that you can actually play 50 hertz games on there without any issues, because PVMs support 50 and 60 hertz natively. Because I had Dreamcast games, I put 50 hertz and it worked fine. So if you have a PVM, that's another reason to get one, is that you could play both 50 and 60 hertz games in the United States.
Don't you still need to mod the Saturn to output 50 hertz?
You do.
Yeah, I think so. I know Dreamcast can do it without that, but what you can do though is that you can import a European Saturn and do that. Just get a power converter.
I mean, you can on a computer monitor, you can do 50 hertz too. The NEC that I have, the multi-sync and the Diamond Pro, both will do 50 hertz. But sometimes you'll get it like cropped, you know, like with Formula Karts we'll talk about. That's a great game, but it crops off the bottom. We're done with Destruction Derby, Signosis?
Yeah,
excellent.
I have nothing to say about it.
It's fun. People should play it. It's a lot of fun.
Terry Pratchett's Discworld.
I have both of these. I like these games enough that I imported both of them. And the first one comes in the crappy, like, ratty cardboard cases, and the second one comes in the clamshell cases that you can't get open, or you like injure yourself when you try to open them. so they look mismatched on the shelf. But either way, it's and
they're pretty fun games. If you like Terry Pratchett and you like Monty Python, and you don't have a good sense of humor, I definitely think these are good games to play.
Point and click, it's one of those pixel hunting games on the Saturn. That's my only biggest misgiving is these games are always better played on a PC where you have higher resolution, like 600 by 800.
And a mouse that's functional.
800 by 600 and a mouse that's functional. Yeah, on like 322 or whatever, the Saturn's resolution is 324. It ends up being where you're trying to find some objects and you just have to hunt around for pixels, and that gets frustrating, and that's one of the things that they would be maligned for back in the day. But for the most part,
sounds like a YouTube channel, the Pixel Hunters. Just like a bunch of people really like, really crappy fan art of them, like their arms like folded with like back to back, and there's like games all over the place. That sounds like a really crappy man. I'm being really negative today. I love
that Dan. I just noticed this.
I just woke up and chose violence. I am sorry, guys. So
it's more than just Discworld then in it. I presume so. Anyway, no, yeah, Dan wrote in it in his.
I do not apologize for the British slang that I infused throughout this whole piece because
That's great. I love it.
I like it. Yeah, these games are pretty decent. I actually want to play through them because they look really fun. Joking aside, of course.
Dragon
Blazing
Ball.
Dragons too.
This is the game that put Saturn on the map in Portugal. Like basically sold the console in Portugal.
Exactly. This is a great one. It's not a great game. It's a legendary game that helped sell it, even though the game's not amazingly great.
Oh, guess what? Captain Hodden just reminded me. So did the PAL territory get Blazing Dragons? I don't know if they did.
Let me double check. I'll
because we got Blazing Dragons, which is like a point and click.
That'd be really weird if a British sense of humor game is not released in the Saturn in the UK.
I don't know for sure, but it seems like that's one of the ones I remember.
It came out in the EU, but it doesn't specify if it's Saturn or not.
Okay. Yes, they got Blazing Dragons. He did. Okay, they did. They didn't get a stall. They didn't get a stall. I know that for sure. And they did. There are a couple other ones that they didn't get, but okay, they got Blazing Dragons. Yeah, that seemed like a shoe-in for.
Yeah, that'd be weird if it didn't.
Dave, you suggested that I do a follow-up article where I list all the games that came out in North America but not in Europe, and I think that's a good idea.
If you're willing to invest another 10 hours. Or maybe your workflow will be better.
I mean, knowing that, it'd more like be like 40 hours since we got a ton they didn't.
It would be good. It would be good evergreen content for the site, though. Because that's a reference. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, okay, now we have a document on what that is. So if people Google, it's like, all right, games that only came out in Europe for the Saturn, bam, giant list. Games that came out in North America, bam.
I think it would be good to add
Japan. It literally is like 1,000, 2,000 games. It
would actually be good for us to add a new tab to the website menu for technical references and link it to content that's always going to be relevant, like this, and like Peter's floppy disk drive article, stuff like that. Like the Tizen cable article is always good, because he wrote everything that you could possibly want to know about it. So
maybe just have a technical tab on the corner.
I love Formula Carts. I highly recommend that if anybody has a Saturn steering wheel, that this is the game to play with their Saturn steering wheel. Like I don't enjoy playing Sega Rally or Daytona with the steering wheel. It's really great. Remember, Pat, when we were at PRGE and you were trying to play Daytona with the steering wheel, and you're just going all over the
absolutely awful.
It's like you're playing on ice or something like that.
Yeah.
This game plays perfect. It feels like if you go to a go-kart track and you're driving around on the go-kart and you're kind of like slipping around the turns, but then grabbing.
We should do that.
Yeah, it's
I want to do
that would be
that'd be fun.
Great idea. Yeah, we should.
You can hold hands.
But yeah, definitely Formula Carts. It cuts off when you're playing this on a US Saturn, the bottom portion, like half of the gauge cluster is cut off. But if you can deal with that, the rest is fine. And I would just say go into cockpit mode and just play with the steering wheel if you have it. It works fine with the pad, but like I say, like it actually feels perfect with the steering wheel, and and so my theory is that games that have like a really low center of gravity, because it also works really well on VR Virtual Racing when you have the go-karts, because in Time Warner's VR Virtual Racing, they give you several different vehicles. And when you use the go-karts, the steering wheel feels really good. So I think the steering wheel the arcade racer feels better for games like that have like a low center of gravity. And also 8-Bit says Outrun is a great game to play with the steering wheel.
Yeah, real quick.
Oh,
right
go ahead.
before that, it said that Dragon Ball Z: The Legend did not come out in Spain, and maybe that is true, but I put it down because it's on Sega Retro, and they even have a product code for the Spanish version. So that's surprising to hear from 8-Bit.
Interesting.
They've even got a scan of the front cover and the disc, and it's labeled as ES, which I'm guessing means España.
Espanol.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to speak Spanish at risk of sounding like I did last episode, so I'm not going to do that.
The Spanish crew is going to come in and harass you in the second half of the show.
Yep. Skill issue.
Frankenstein Through the Eyes of the Monster. It has Tim Curry in it.
Worst actor in the world. I'm just joking. I like Tim Curry.
See, there you go. That's a Pat-ism right there.
Worst actor in the world. Just joking. Tim Curry a lot.
I know you do. But it's just like everything else, right? You also like Metroid Prime a lot, right? Yeah, this game, I don't know. Am I jealous that we didn't get it? I don't know. Can 8-Bit tell us something about?
Yeah, it's just another example of a point and click that
has FMV in it, right?
PC.
It's really clunky, right? It seems really clunky. It's another point and click FMV. Yeah, just not a whole lot that I can say about. I haven't really sought it out, because when I've looked at videos and stuff like that, I've just felt like it doesn't look like something that's up my alley. This is, though, Hebereki's Popoito, or Popoito, however.
I'm surprised you're able to pronounce that. I didn't even try.
Oh, Hebereki's Popoito is a great game. It's a great puzzle game, similar to kind of Puyo Puyo. It is, well, yeah, actually, it plays somewhat like Puyo Puyo. It's a Sunsoft title, and the music is excellent. So if you like good chip tunes, check out the music to Hebereki's Popoito. Crazy stuff.
This is some weird cover art.
It is. I like it. I actually like it. I actually thought about doing like a US reproduction of this one, because I do like this game, and it's not PAL optimized, so it plays great.
I just don't understand why they call it Euphoria's Popoito when it's in the same series as a game that they changed the name to Euphoria in Europe.
Yeah.
Why did they their new name convention? I don't understand. Why do they have to be Hebereke's for the
Popoito, Hebereki, Popoito.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sounds like Spanish.
What is Hebereki? Who is Hebereki? Is that like some Greek?
Who else? I don't know. Prepareki, and what's his Popito?
You know, speaking of the whole optimization thing, I wanted to mention the fact that Daytona USA, for example, was PAL optimized, and we both got Daytona USA, but Daytona USA was one of those games that was PAL optimized, even though it was kind of letterboxed on the top and bottom. It was PAL optimized. As a result, though, they kind of sped the game up, you know, to make it PAL optimized. And when there's the garbage truck. I don't know if you can hear it, but
don't worry, I have dogs barking in the house.
So anyway, the thing about the PAL optimization is that when you're doing racing games, you know, and you're trying to like go up against other folks, and they're uploading, you know, their best times. When I'm racing against like Roberto on his like Daytona times, I'm like, I don't think that it's even possible for me to achieve some of these times with the US copy of this game, because the PAL version is like sped up, you know. It seems like I would definitely recommend that if you are doing a racing game, that you just make sure you're both playing the same region, so that the timing is the same, because timing in racing is very important. Jewels of the Oracle. This is one that Kay had, and he sent to me to have me do like a long box of. I think I have vague memories of this, but this is another Sunsoft game that's like a Myst style clone. I couldn't get past the beginning. Yeah, 8-bit. Here's the garbage truck. That's great.
Look at the garbage.
Yeah, Jewels of the Oracle, another PC game that got ported to.
Definitely ironic calling it Jewels. It's definitely not a jewel for sure.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's got a lot of puzzles in it. It's you know, it's fine. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not as good as Myst. Like Myst did it best. Myst did it so good, and then everybody else tried to copy Myst to varying degrees of success. You know,
it's good.
Myst, of course, Cyan did Riven, you know, which is another one that they got. We'll talk about in a minute, and that was again, you know, like a blockbuster hit. So it's like nobody was really able to bottle their formula and do it as good as them. But next up is Jonah Lomu Rugby. Now this is your favorite, right, Pat? You're a big rugby fan.
Yeah. My thing is, who the hell wants to play a rugby game?
What's crazy about this though is that
who?
Oh, I can't zoom on this. It's not working. Anyway, it got Game of the Month in OSSM right here on the cover there. Game of the Month in 97.
It's weird that they're completely wrong about that. So
they're completely wrong about. I don't know. Maybe they were just. Maybe there were some rugby fans on the team, editor's team.
This guy, like, guy looks like a European John Candy on the cover.
European. Okay, there we go.
He's got that European vibe to him.
You think this looks like John Candy?
The face does.
He's from New Zealand.
From New Zealand.
Guy's looking like a New Zealand John Candy dude.
Okay. Well, anyway, it got Game of the Month, so it's got to be decent. But we don't even have
Candy's rugby.
I don't even know. Do we have rugby? Maybe this game did well in Australia. They have rugby there, but
they had Saturn in New Zealand.
This is another one of the big ones. This is the heavy hitter right here.
Yeah, this one's amazing. This one is the polar opposite of Jonah Lumu or John Candy Rugby. This is the good stuff. Kale Flying Squadron 2. It's kind of funny. It has the same vocal the same the same voices from the first one, but not released in the United States. So I think it's kind of weird.
Wow, that's loud.
Yeah, they had American actors.
What's loud?
Yeah, they brought the same American voice
truck.
Too.
Yeah.
My thing is, I wonder if they do. There's a lot. I think there's a fairly big voice actors in that game too. Like I know one of them that plays the raccoon, the Professor Raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
He actually is a big anime voice actor.
Oh yeah.
It says that Jonah Lomu Rugby is a great game. He and his mates used to play it to death. Really captures the feel of the sport. See? Excellent game that you are sleeping on, Pat.
Okay, I'm going to have to check it out now. I'm going to have to check it out. It is not PAL optimized. So I'm first I have to learn how to play rugby because I don't know how to play rugby.
Like absolute garbage.
I love sports games on the Saturn. Actually, I think that people who ignore sports games on the Saturn are ignoring like a huge segment of the library that's great because Saturn has a lot of great sports games. But I will check it out.
Also, sorry, the guy that plays the in Kyle Flying Squadron plays the raccoon. He actually plays Mojo Jojo in the Powerpuff Girls. That's what it was. It
does go for silly money. It's a great game. It really is. It's not. It's like not the best platformer on the Saturn. It's not the best shooter on the Saturn. It's not even the best cutesy shooter on the Saturn because I would argue that Cotton 2 or Cotton Boomerang is better. But this game does have a lot going for it, and it is like a cutesy platformer shooter, and so I really like this game a lot. I wish that we would have had it, and it does go for crazy money if you're looking to like import it as a US fan.
If you don't like money, definitely recommend playing it.
Yeah,
I definitely recommend buying it.
If you don't like money,
for everyone, if you just want to get rid of your money, just get rid of that. Actually, how much would it be to get Kyle Flying Squadron 2? I know Kyle Flying Squadron 1 is out of my price range, but is there is there a possibility to get Kyle Flying Squadron 2 PAL for a decent deal?
I'm gonna make a guess.
Not bad.
It's like 250 bucks.
350.
Oh, okay. I was off by 100 bucks.
It's not bad. It's not bad, honestly.
350, not bad.
I mean, compared to the 1500 for Kyle Fighting Squadron 1, yeah.
Yeah, or Snatcher.
I'm still salty. I really want Snatcher.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I was wrong. It goes for $2,000, $3,000 for the first one. My bad. So it's about 10 times as much as the
as you
one.
thought. Yeah.
So I'm sorry. I messed that up. I just remember because my friend sold his for $1,500. So I assumed that the prices weren't completely batshit insane, but obviously I was wrong on that one, so sorry.
Oh my god, he got it for 15 pounds. I hate you. Hopefully it's in good condition. Hopefully it's because this is one of those that's in the cardboard case, and I hate seeing those cardboard cases with the scratches in the front, you know, or like perforations in those cardboard cases. Like if you somehow found a way to keep your PAL cardboard cases in pristine condition, then I think they're actually some of the most attractive looking Saturn cases. But if not, then they're some of the least attractive looking Saturn cases.
Yeah, Slowcoin says they both rule. The first one is my go-to for Sega CD games. Yeah, I definitely want to. I bring that to every con I go to. I put KO there because nobody will ever play it, so I bring that with me. So honestly, I think I'm going to do it next year.
King of Fighters 95. I have a copy of the Japanese version with the cart. This did actually come to PAL territories, and it's crazy that they got. So like that's the other thing is they got the video CD card, right, and we didn't get it. An example of a piece of hardware that they got that we didn't get. And then they also got King of Fighters 95 with the ROM cart. We didn't get any kind of ROM or RAM carts in the US other than the backup RAM cart.
Oh, we got rammed all right.
We got rammed, but we got Netlink, you know, which is a cart, which is a piece of hardware that they didn't get in the PAL territory. So there you go.
They beat us though because they also got the MPEG card as well. So.
They did, yeah, but theirs isn't really the same, is it? It's you
can't game with it. You only watch videos, I think.
Yeah, there are no games that support it. You can only watch videos on it.
All right, so Crazy Ivan, I've actually never played this one.
This one was talked up a bunch, and it ended up on magazine covers. It ended up on. So this is one of those games that actually got talked about a lot back in the day. But I can't speak about it from personal experience. So if anybody cares to leave some comments or whatever. Wait, Knight says Netlink was sold in Europe, catalog only. I had no idea. I don't know if I know a single person. So
I imagine how they were able to play with anybody. Like who would have that? Like.
But Knight, was it the US Netlink that was just sold over there, or did they have their own like product code, like European product code? I'd be interested to know. No clue. Oh man.
In researching this article and Crazy Ivan specifically, I got to enjoy some of its FMV cutscenes, and man, are they something else. They're real corny.
Yeah. So good, like so bad they're good kind of thing, or
yeah, kind of. It's sort of like they're trying to do their own version of Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Okay.
You know.
FMV cutscenes that tell the story between missions are so cheesy they likely manage you and make you go, well, you know. Saturn fans. So is this one that this is one that I should probably check out. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah. The game itself is probably pretty cool. I've not played it. It's it's like a mech warrior type of a game.
Yeah.
Or Griffin, if you will. But
okay.
I like this very Russian man's face, and there's a robot in his eye.
Yes, very
dramatic. Russian. I mean, it is a Psygnosis game, and they didn't really make bad games, did they? Crazy Ivan is crazy. The cutscenes are pretty funny. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to check this out. Maybe that's one for you to stream, Pat. It's not PAL optimized, so
Yeah, I definitely think about it.
not today, not today.
Fun.
But it'd be, you know,
Yeah,
if the cutscenes are that funny, then you could lampoon it, you know, Mystery Science Theater, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, the next one, Mega Man X3, probably one of the best Mega Man X games, but probably the worst version of it, sadly.
Yeah, tell me about that. What
basically, the way that it worked is that Mega Man X3 was ported to Saturn in Japan. I don't know if it was on PS1. I have to look that up, but I know for a fact that it did get a Japan and European release, and it's got some issues with it because it was pretty much a straight port for the SNES version of it, and it's got a lot of like resolution issues and doesn't look the best.
Oh right, like the pixel scaling.
Yeah, it plays pretty well.
Yeah. Kind of like Castlevania Symphony of the Night. You know how it kind of stretches.
I said not the best, Brian. Not the best version of it.
Yeah, not the best version of it.
So
best how? Yeah, no, it's the worst.
PSX also got X3. Okay, so
okay.
Yeah, but it's definitely not the best. The best version of it. It's still playable. It's still fun. There's plenty of version games, and the Americans, weirdly enough, that this game came out in Europe, but they did not get a Mega Man X8 or X4, which is
isn't that crazy? There you go. That was one of the examples. Is X4. X4 was like a huge game. Why didn't they get it in PAL territories? That's crazy. And they got X3. I don't know.
Maybe version was like, nah, fam. We don't like the good versions. We just want the really bad version of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. They didn't need X4.
X4 slapped. Honestly, X5 is my favorite Mega Man X game, but
it was good.
I'm biased.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, we were big Mega Man fans in the US. I don't know why we didn't get this. Like this is one of those games where I really don't know the reason why they didn't bring it over here, because to me it's just because, you know, Capcom, like, it would have sold, you know. So I just don't get it. Like, maybe because it was too. That's the one thing I can think, is that it was a game that was released on the Super Nintendo, and that it was a 2D game when everything was going 3D. Maybe they just thought it's not going to do well, but I don't know. Mighty Hits.
I really want to get the rest of the Mega Man games to the Saturn. I think that's my next. That's my big get. Is that I want to get that for collection purposes because I love Mega Man, but man, I don't really want. Pun aside, I don't really want to pay $500 for each copy of that. That's not something that I'm willing to do.
It was painful. I really don't. Like 5 years ago, so I can't even imagine what it would be now.
It's going to be $1,000 for both of them. So
yeah, Mighty Hits is a cool game, but poorly PAL optimized. But it's a light gun.
My only comment is Mighty Hits. My only comment is Mighty Hits, but put an S in front of the hits, and that's what I think about it. And that's my thoughts on it.
Oh man. Okay. So supports the shuttle mouse despite not officially existing in a PAL country, and that's crazy. So this supported the shuttle mouse, and yet we couldn't get Corpse Killer Graveyard Edition to support the mouse or the light gun. Come on, you know,
they just didn't like us. What can I say?
They half-assed it, is what they did.
I mean, isn't that the story of Saturn in a nutshell?
Proteus, this is a great one right here. I like all the Proteus games, and of course, Panda did a video on it, which is funny because it didn't come out. It was not a US Saturn game, but he must have liked it enough.
It was really good though.
It was great.
I really liked his video on it.
Like, I loved his video on it. He got mad at the end. Like he shouted at the end. He was like, you guys gotta watch this video if you really want to hear Nick just screaming at the top of his lungs at the end of the video, like at the climax of the video, you know, because he's so passionate about what
he cursed God that we didn't get it.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great video, and a great game. It consists of 2 games actually, so you get like the classic version and then the Saturn game.
Also trivia. I want to do a quick trivia. Don't look at his thing. Guess what Nick's most popular video is?
Me? guess what it
yeah.
is?
Yeah, guess
Okay.
which one it is.
Gosh, without having it,
Quick
without
game.
seeing, it would have to be not the Virtual Cop video, right? Even though that one is massive, right? No, it's not this, right? It's not Parodius.
Nope.
No. Okay, I would guess that it's the VR Virtual Racing. No. Yes.
Nope. It's you reposted the wrong golf links.
Oh right. Okay, that's the meme video. Okay.
The meme one. You know,
I should have known that.
All his hard work in doing it, and just the meme video gets it.
And that's exactly.
Memes get clicks.
Memes get clicks. They do, and they get
But
multiple
second is-
clicks. Because how many
Yeah,
times
second
have
is
I
Richard-
watched that? I've probably watched that video like 10 times.
Yeah, but yeah, Virtual Cop's the second, and then VR Virtual Racing's the third.
Okay.
So,
All right. Photo CD
but yeah, I just thought
operating
that was
system.
funny.
This was a thing back then. You know, it was like look at your photos on the TV.
Yeah,
was a thing.
I got some things for you to see.
You didn't need the video CD card to
No.
look
No,
at
just
your
the software.
Yeah, so I think this works kind of like the Japan only like ebook reader where you
Right.
put the disc in initially and it loads stuff into RAM, and
Mm-hmm.
then while the running, you pop the top of the Saturn and you switch discs to whatever photo CD you actually want to look at,
Right.
and then the code that's been loaded into RAM will then let you look at your photo CD photos.
And that was the thing back then, is you could have your Kodak film, you could have it developed onto, photos, or you could have it developed onto a photo CD for you to pick up. And you're like, oh, great, this is so much better back then, right?
That.
Now, of
I
course,
remember
those
that.
photo CDs are probably like rotting. All of your pictures are, I'm sure people have subsequently had to like back them up to a much better archival format, if they don't want to lose all of that. But yeah, only the rich families got the CD option. Knight says. That's funny.
The rich families got that?
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those things I never used personally, but I always thought it was kind of cool. As a kid, I was like, oh, that must be nice,
Yeah.
Choosing
no,
this.
I think we always just got the photos, which are the little things, little sheets, the paper
Like if you
things,
were
so.
if you were a baller back then and you were the kind of person that had like video conferencing, in the 90s, and you had, you did your banking on your game console. You were just like so ahead of, you used all that stuff that we kind of just laugh at now.
They had that ability back in the day. I know Japan did, but I don't think we did.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you're some Japanese guy that it's Japanese salaryman who did all your banking on your NES or your Famicom, and you had like
your horse racing bets.
You
on
had
your
like
Famicom
postage stamp size video conferencing, and that was like the original 2001: A Space Odyssey, vision of the future.
Man, it's kind of funny now how mid it is nowadays. It's like the future sucks now.
I know. Let's go back. The future sucks.
Like
Give me a
seriously,
time machine.
it's like iPhones suck. Like you do it on this thing. Like this, how under dramatic this is. It's like it's a phone. Who cares?
And yet that phone could have run like the entire Apollo space mission and plus tax. you know?
Like it could have run 12 spaceships.
Yeah, it could have run 12 spaceships. It's
so mid. It's like we take it for granted. It just sits there. It's just like we look at crap on there. We just.
Yep.
And it's like how crazy it would be back in the day. It's like you could do what on your telephone? You can have a walking video thing. You could watch videos in class. You could like do banking. You could film stuff like cameras, like HD photos. Like I would be like I could not stop using it. But now it's like it's a thing.
Yeah, smartphones kind of suck. They really did kill off so many things that we used to like depend on, like a Walkman, or like a camera, or
hey, speak for yourself. I still use my Walkman.
No, I know, that's cool, and so do I. But I'm just saying, like you do intentionally. You have to try. You have to want to. You have to try to, because it's so easy to fall into the Spotify works so easily.
Yeah, I actually might have to retire my Walkman from traveling though.
Oh, did it get dropped or something, or what? You worried about it?
I put it in a moving case and the drive seized up. I need to get looked at. But
Oh,
yeah,
no. Yeah.
I forgot how fragile those things are, so I might have to retire that one from travel, unfortunately. But I still bring my iPod. I still have like literally a terabyte of music on that. So
yeah,
But yeah.
well, that's crazy that you have like a terabyte. of
RIP.
music. Pinball Graffiti, I
Yeah.
love this game, and this is definitely one I'm jealous of. I have the Japanese version, but I really wish I had this the completely translated, because this is a pinball RPG, you guys. This is actually a really cool.
That's
Well, okay,
where the
it
guy,
borrows
like-
elements
like-
from RPGs.
This is where the guy like has amnesia or something like that, or like it's
He's a college basketball star. He wants to go pro, but he saves a little girl and from getting hit by a car, and he injures him. He gets injured, and then his career is down the toilet, and then he has to find like something new that he's good at, and he goes to a bar because he's like super depressed, and he sees a pinball machine, and he he decides that he's going to embark on a journey of becoming the world's eminent the world's leading pinball player. And
So what you're saying is that he sure plays a mean pinball?
he does.
Would you say
Yeah, he's a pinball wizard. I would say he's a pinball wizard, but yeah, no. Essentially, you have to win a few matches so that you can get the money, so that you can buy the taxi fare, so that you can go to the airport. You have to win a few more matches so you can get the money to fly to different tournaments, so that you can, and so it has earning money, it has like upgrading certain things, and it's got like RPG elements for sure. And this PAL version is not PAL optimized, and it is fully English translated, which you don't get the benefit of that when you play the Japanese version. But the tables are really cool. So when it comes to the actual pinball, it controls well, and the tables are that kind of like really janky 3D that the Saturn does, that I kind of like, unironically, like I actually like it. Pat said he liked this game, so
It was pretty fun. I liked it.
That this game had all these RPG elements and traveling across the country and all that stuff going on with it, until I researched this article. And I'm like, holy cow, this is actually interesting.
yeah.
Actually, that makes me wonder, did they ever make a Tommy pinball machine? They must have. There's no way they didn't make a Tommy pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was off
I don't
topic.
know. I don't know the answer to that. I was reading 8-Bit's
my mind's
comment
on the
about
Who.
how he doesn't really like this game, but I liked it. So I know what you mean. Like the tables are basic compared to like the digital pinball stuff, like the Necronomicon or Last Gladiator. Those are infinitely better pinball games, but this has way more going for it than just the pinball aspect. And so for that reason, I rank it somewhere below those, but not, it ranks above like several of the other pinball games that you can play on Saturn. So I definitely think people should try it out and decide for themselves. I really do like the basketball themed pinball table though.
Yeah. Also, I looked up. Yes, they indeed made a Tommy pinball machine. So I am.
Oh, did they?
I am now satisfied.
Oh, there you go.
I was weird they didn't. I'd be like, because I could see them doing a Who one, but it's like not doing a Tommy one. That's absolutely stupid. They have a song right there for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad they did. But I guess listen to Tommy. It's a good album if you haven't listened to it.
Yeah.
I like Quadrophenia a little bit better, but Tommy's still really good.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Riven, sequel to Myst, 4 discs, right? I think it was like 4-disc game. Yeah, it says right there, 4 discs. Sunsoft. I never got this one. I played it on PlayStation back in the day because, we had a PlayStation. My dad was really interested in this game, so we got it on PlayStation. I haven't played it on the Saturn subsequently. I'm sure it's just as good.
Yep.
But
Sea Bass Fish. Oh, sorry.
Sea Bass Fishing. I did a stream of this once. It was actually kind of cool. It gets a little boring, but I like the vibe. I like the look of the characters and stuff. It feels very much like it could have been a first party Sega fishing game. Have you played this, Pat?
I played Sega Bass Fishing
On the
I'm
Dreamcast,
guessing
right?
It's not the same. Yeah.
So
I'm
this
guessing
is.
It's not a sequel.
It's not. but I would say that if you're looking for something like Sega or like Sega Bass Fishing, this is the closest you're going to get. The Saturn has a handful of fishing games, quite a handful actually, and a lot of them are Japanese and really hard to understand.
There is a sequel to this game on the Saturn, like
yes.
CBS 2, but it did not come out anywhere but Japan.
Right, and I actually found that this one was better. Like I tried both.
Sorry?
I tried both of them, and just from like a storyline and graphics and the look of it, I kind of liked this original one better, which surprised me. Knight says I streamed the second one. I thought I streamed like 3 different fishing games that day when I did that fishing stream, and I thought that I streamed this one. I could be misremembering though, or it's it's fishing. You're just casting your line, pull it, and having to dangle the.
I know what you mean. I'm used to casting my line and dangle and stuff, so I'm definitely used to doing that.
I have to go back and find that stream. I don't know. It might have been lost to Facebook. If I did it on Facebook, they probably deleted it.
Yeah, we lost all our Facebook streams, so. Honestly, we're gonna I swear, once we get popular enough, we're gonna get on a list of top 10 lost internet content, all of Shiro's early streams.
Mm-hmm.
We saved some of it, but like
Virtual Casino is gone. Virtual Casino is gone, and I really enjoyed that. The stream was boring as hell, but it was just it was like during Thanksgiving or something, and you were going over to your grandma's house for the turkey or something. I don't know. I don't even remember.
I dropped off the turkey at my parents.
Yeah, it was a boring stream, but it's a great game.
Freezer.
I love Virtual Casino. Soft spot for it. Street Racer. Oh, and you know what? PAL Territories did not get that game. They did not get Virtual Casino. That's one that we got. Natsume, Serious Fun, and they didn't get it. So I know a few PAL gamers have been like, "Oh, I need to import that one." Because it's actually decent, Street Racer is a great game.
Go Street Racer. Go
this
Street
one's
Racer,
great,
go.
But I have this one is PAL optimized, so I got the Japanese version. But it's cool. It's like really cool graphics, Mode 7 style gameplay, and way better than BC Racers. Like I would compare this to like BC Racers, but this is just way better. Whereas BC Racers is trash.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. But yeah, honestly, I've not really played it. I actually never heard of it. Is it even decent, or is it absolute garbage?
No, it's more than decent. It's a great racing game. Try it out. Really? You'll love it. Yeah, no, it
looks like it's garbage.
Are you watching a video of it right now?
No, I'm photoshopping something.
All right, I'm gonna show people just.
I'm pretty
for the hell of it. Street.
Yeah.
Racer.
You're gonna be mad when you see what I photoshopped. You're gonna be like,
Saturn.
Pat, you're such an idiot. I hate you so much.
So check this out. Just gonna put up the first one. So we get an ad. Seriously, like this game, Knight says I've recommended it many times. I don't even remember doing that, and I can tell you that it's great. Look at the graphics on this, and the way that damn it, the ads.
Dumb
like,
ads.
It's cool. It's got like different Mario Kart style moves, like where you can do like a flying carpet thing, or like different power-ups. It's got these like Mode 7 graphics with like these huge sprites. Really good animation. The clouds in the sky, I believe, are they're meshes, I think, but you can't really tell on a CRT. You got the map, like the mini map up in the corner.
Wow, this actually looks really good. Holy crap.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Like, definitely try out the Japanese version, which is 60 hertz.
That little dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Mario Kart clone for sure, but it's well done. So I highly recommend folks try it out if they've slept on it. And Peter has recommended it, apparently. Knight is telling me all sorts of stuff that we've done that I didn't know.
Yeah, Knight's our archivist. He has everything unlocked.
Seriously, I got to be careful what I say, because Knight will never forget. He'll be like, one time you said this. I'll be like, you're probably right. I say a lot of things that I completely forget about. Swagman is another great game, and this is one of Peter's favorite games.
Swaggy.
The storyline is, you could read like the plot synopsis for this, and you could think that you're talking about that you're talking about. What is it? Nights into Dreams, because it's very much. Brian says hire him. We did. We don't pay him anything, but Knight is a Shiro. Yeah, he works for us. No, I'm just kidding.
So with Swagman, I did think about making some kind of a Knights reference or mentioning Knights, because like when I was reading the synopsis and like watching gameplay footage, like it did kind of remind me of like a darker Knights. But then, of course, it plays nothing like it.
Nothing like it, yeah.
Would you say it's a Dark Knight Rises?
The scenario is kind of like Knights, but darker.
Yeah. And it's top down. It's 2D graphics. You kids, you turn into like these monsters. It's cool. It's got a cool vibe to it. I definitely think that folks should check it out. It's more than decent. It's a good game. It may not be like the greatest game, but it's a good game, and it did get a PlayStation release. It's IDOS. Oh, it's Core. So this is one of those Core games where like IDOS bought Core and published their games, you know? And then it just kind of like, and then it kind of just dissolved into everything was IDOS after that. But yeah.
Everything is IDOS.
Trash it. We don't really need to talk about it. It's just trash it.
I mean, yeah, just that, trash it.
Oh, and it's another Rage Software game of the Jonah Lomu Rugby fame, but not good at all. So
fair. Yeah, just trash it. If you see a game like this, you must trash it. If you want to play some good games, you must trash it. If you want to buy it now, you must trash it. Just trash it.
So
Put it in the trash. Throw it out. Make it dead. Burn forward. Throw in oven. It's not too late.
Okay, all right.
Just trash it.
Just trash it good. Okay, so Peter did an article on... Peter did an article because he's a Canuck. He did like an amazing article on the best hockey game on Saturn, right? And he like lined them all up and did like a shootout of all the hockey games on Saturn. I really wish that somebody who was an expert on not only soccer but a huge Saturn fan would come along and write us an article on the best, the worst to best soccer game on the Saturn, because I feel like some folks don't agree that it's the Sega Worldwide Soccer. Like some folks are not. Some like me, I like the first party Sega stuff, but some folks are all about like the FIFA stuff or like I don't know. There's another soccer game on the Saturn that folks are really into. But that would be something I'd be interested in. What 8-bit do you play soccer games, and if so, what do you think is the best one on Saturn? I would like to know.
Or football, depending on where you live.
Or football, whatever. You know, they know what a soccer ball is.
I don't know. Maybe they're confused.
Virtua Fighter CG Portrait Collection. They got this. That's crazy. This is like the crazy kind of obscure stuff.
So did they get all the different variants of it?
No. They 22 images on a single disc. So it's much less than what Japan got. But I mean, Japan, they sold what I put 10 different discs. Yeah, they sold them for, and this was just a freebie that was included with their copies of Virtua Fighter Remix.
You cut out.
Oh wait, so
you cut out, Dan.
I thought these were. Much... So when I saw CG Portrait Collection, I thought these were just like versions of the game that's like special editions where it's like it's the game plus some cool images on it. I didn't know it was just images. That's kind of weak. Then.
Yeah, no, this is.
Sorry, I guess I'll say what I said again. Am I cutting out right now?
You're good.
You just cut out when you said how much did they sell it for in Japan? The discs.
Oh, I didn't say how much they sold it for. I don't know. I'm sure it's not full price or anything, but I just said they sold it for money. They sold it for actual money.
Right.
You know, just discs full of CG images.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there were far more of them if you got all 10. While in Europe, they just have this one disc with 22 images. I believe it's just 22 images on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was a freebie that came with Virtua Fighter Remix, so it's still a good deal. It's free.
It's funny. This is the kind of thing I would expect.
Free is free.
This is the kind of thing I would expect to get if you were like a news outlet. You get sent like a CD like this with a bunch of images on it, so you could use it for your magazine or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that they sold it in Japan, and I'm sure there were a bunch of crazy people who bought it too. You know, they were like,
I mean,
can't get enough of looking at these characters, looking at Pai-chan.
And I mean, in America, Remix wasn't wasn't only a free game; it was also sold in stores in
Sure.
limited quantity.
Remix was sold. There was a Canadian long box, and that does count as North America, but I'm trying to think. It wasn't sold in the US that I'm aware of. Was it?
Maybe.
Remix.
Was it not?
There was a pack-in version of it, I think. I mean, somebody can correct me. There was no long box of Remix though in the US. There was a long box in Canada, and it's highly sought after.
Land.
It's highly sought after by US collectors because it's essentially a US long box. It just we didn't get it over here, but yeah, that thing goes for crazy money considering what it is. Virtual Golf. Not to be confused with Virtua Golf or
Not to be
Actua.
confused with World Series Baseball '97.
So they have, yeah, exactly. They have Actua Golf over there, which is a gremlin thing that got turned into VR Golf over here. But then there's a game called Virtual Golf, which is, I think, terrible. From what I understand, it's not great.
It sounds terrible. I'm vomiting just thinking about it.
Okay, Core Design's take on golf. And got moved from the Mega CD to 32X before settling on Saturn. Interesting. Who cares? Just look at the hand-painted art cover. I would say that the cover is the best thing it has going for it. Supports the 6-player adapter, which is neat.
Is it neat, though?
I jokingly point out every game in this list that has 6-player adapter support, and I say that they are neat. I just copy and paste it just to be silly. There's like 3 or 4 games.
Funny though, in the Discord,
Takes camera photo.
somebody just shared a game in the Discord where on the back of it said single player excitement.
Lol. That's pretty
I think
much the game in
Malenko
a
was like,
nutshell.
why would they even put that single play? You have to sell it, you know. Single player excitement.
Oh my
You're
god,
like
so exciting.
You're all alone here by yourself.
Oh my god.
So
That sounds like me. That sounds like an introvert thing. Single player excitement.
yeah. Now I could see Rez with the trance vibrator.
Oh god.
being
Oh
billed
god.
as single player excitement.
Oh yeah. That's some single player excitement.
You know, but I mean, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next SHIRO
Such
shirt,
excitement.
single player excitement.
Lol.
That is. Oh my god, I think that's gonna be a meme right there.
Single
we
player
might-
excitement. My favorite.
Might have to take you up on that.
That's better
Wiz.
than Craig Stadler.
The
Just
next
joking,
game is
it's
called
not.
Wiz.
It's the name of the bunny.
No relation to
Get
Wiz
on
and
down,
Liz,
get on down the road.
which was another Genesis game. So let's see here. Pal, yes, optimized, release in Spain. Oh, was this only released in Spain?
No.
Oh,
So
I got you.
Sega does not have an exact date for it in 1997, but they do have an exact date for, like, they don't have an exact date for various PAL territories. They only have an exact date for Spain, which they put is February 17th, 1998. But for all the other territories, it just says 1997.
It's an isometric platformer. Sounds kind of like Steam Gear Mash, but it was on the Amiga. They have that heritage of microcomputers, you know.
Maybe it's just me, or is that bunny freaking me the hell out?
It's a
Freaking
little
anybody else
freaky.
out? Like that bunny looks like I don't know. It's freaking me out a bit. That
Yeah,
Yes,
we can.
is the game at least any good?
I don't know.
This article I wrote of all the games that come out in PAL territories, but not in North America, and it's on the website right now.
Okay, well, yeah, I haven't tried this one. I'm being completely honest, but then again, it's PAL optimized, so that's probably one of the reasons. Let me see here. Wipeout 2097. Serious, I'm jealous. This is one of those ones that I'm jealous
super
about.
Didn't they have Daft Punk in this one too?
I don't know the answer to that. I thought it was
I
just
know the
cold
soundtrack-
storage. Wasn't it just cold storage that did the entire soundtrack, and it ended up being better. Like a lot of people prefer it over the original soundtrack because it's got so many bangers on it. But the thing is, this version is PAL optimized, so definitely go play 2090 the Japanese version of the NTSC version of this on the Saturn.
And just download the soundtrack and put it over this. Or was it the same soundtrack in both regions?
I think it was the same in both regions.
Okay, yeah, just play the Japanese one then.
Yeah, I think what it was is that they just for some reason couldn't secure the Red Bull license, the Red Bull advertising, and they couldn't secure the original licensed soundtrack for the Saturn version. Maybe it was like Sony, because Sony had pretty strong relationship with Psygnosis or whatever, and maybe that was like they cock blocked us and we're just like, no, you guys have to have. Go find your own music, or I don't know, or
find
maybe
your own stuff.
Maybe
pal.
it was just how it is with music licensing for games. Maybe it was just like really hard to get that license for the PlayStation version, and then by the time it came to the Saturn version, they just couldn't secure it anymore. But the cold storage music is fantastic, and I've heard many people go on record saying that it's better, arguably better than the actual soundtrack that everybody else got on the PlayStation. World League Soccer 98.
Or
this
WLS.
This has a Mizuno license on it, which is interesting. I wonder about this. Is it any good? I don't know. I haven't tried it.
The answer's no.
There's no
8-bit.
I can tell you right now, it's probably
8-bit
dog shit.
8-bit what?
8-bit SNK boy will know.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's.
No, well, he said he didn't. Said he didn't really play soccer. I don't like football, but I've played them all, and Worldwide Soccer 97 is the only one that I've sunk any time into. And that's actually, I wonder, like, is Worldwide Soccer 98 not better? I know it's rarer, and it usually goes for more money than 97, because 97 is pretty common, at least from the US long box. But
yeah, I mean, this one, it was one of the last Saturn games released in Europe because it came out in June 1998.
Good year.
He says, warning, the timing is broken on the Japanese release of Wipeout XL, making it slightly harder. But that's 60 hertz though, right? So, I mean, what would happen if I played the PAL version, the PAL optimized version of 2097? I mean, it would be like clipped off on my TV, right? I would only see like part of the screen.
That's probably better, so you could save yourself from saving half of that trash game from entering your eyeballs. So yeah.
The last game is Z or Z. We should say Z since we're talking about PAL games.
Yes, you should. It is Z. It was not released outside of Europe, so its official canon name must be pronounced Z.
That's
but
fair.
It doesn't. It isn't on the cover. It's just a Z. There's no ZED, right?
Hey, to be hey, the thing is that he has an American flag on his shirt.
Yeah, no.
So then
I know
that would mean that technically you would pronounce it Z because it's canonically he's an American robot.
It's GT Interactive, though. We know all about Good Times. Good Times Interactive. Those
such great times.
Such good times that they shafted Lobotomy and didn't pay them. Or no, not Lobotomy. Scavenger didn't pay them for two of their games.
They scavenged them for scavengers. The name fit. They were scavenging for some money that they never gave them.
Bitmap Brothers. I wonder if they paid the Bitmap Brothers for this game.
Probably no. Wouldn't surprise me.
But anyway.
I mean, port from a PC original that came out a couple years prior, so
okay,
maybe,
fair. Maybe it was just
one kind of like, or even more outrageous than Crazy Ivan. They're like foul-mouthed robots or like party dudes. They're on like a war zone and they're piloting tanks and they just are having the time of their lives. Like they don't care.
Yeah, we covered this on the episode with Command and Conquer.
Okay.
Actually, this was pretty fun. I actually liked this one quite a bit. It's really silly. I thought it was really cute. And it was a ton of fun to play this one. Did you get to try it out, Dave? Or
I haven't tried this one. This is still. It's on my. I think I have it on the Satiator. Again, I have so many games. I haven't tried them all, but this is one that I have not tried. So if you recommend it, then I'll definitely.
It was pretty fun. It's a nice little RTS. I don't know how well it would play versus PC, but it was pretty good. I think I said that the only issue I had with it is that the control mapping for controlling it was kind of not that great, but also that was like 2 years ago, so I'm 3 years ago actually, so I might be wrong.
I just realized we're running really late on time for for the show, and I need to get the kids fed and stuff like that. So I think we need to wrap up.
Yeah, we have all those articles for next week though, so we're good.
Yeah, we should definitely. I apologize to Dan. Like I couldn't. I just couldn't write anything up because I just even today like left the office right as I got something done. You know, I had a pile of work on my desk when I came back, so basically had a bunch of catch up.
I had wanted to make this like a whole PAL themed week with PAL articles to like tie in with your cool podcast with this guys.
Honestly, it worked out better because we focused on all your stuff, all the games and stuff. So honestly, I think I'm gonna consider this a win.
Well, I kind of interviewed over Discord Kitchen, who's been translating a lot of games into French and Spanish, and I want a story about him up today, and I couldn't get it done. So hopefully I'll have that for next week. So PAL week will continue into a second week.
That'd be fine.
Honestly,
I'm down. Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of want to make this like its own clip on YouTube, just like going over PAL games. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it would. And I would like to get Em on if I think she's sick still, but I would like to get her on to talk about, you know, her perspective of PAL gaming and stuff like that, you know, PAL Saturn fandom. She has a lot of good takes, and she's a huge fan of magazines, so definitely was plugged into all of the hype that was going on at the time through Sega Magazine and Saturn Magazine. But anyway, this is a great article, Dan. Thanks. This is like really good content for the site, and it's a reference for folks going back and seeing. If anybody ever asks me, hey, what were the exclusives for PAL games? I'm just going to send them this link now.
Yeah,
you did such a great job on that.
Kind of what
Thank you again, Dan.
Yeah, no problem.
And I like the thumbnail you did too. Looks great.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Good job all around.
Magic.
We should definitely take this quick opportunity to thank all of our Patreon supporters, which I probably should be the one listening.
I got the list.
You got the list? You got the list of our
list. You can sell the other stuff. I'll sell the
He's got the list. Okay.
I got the list. So want to be big thanks to A Murder of Crows, Blue Moon 95, Emerald Nova, Johannes Fetz, Nate Lawrence, Cerillion, Chris 1997, Dan aka A-Team, Fat Drunk Friend Otaku, Jim Clasher Rank, Justin Momphis, Normal Guy, Newt Rageous, Robert Ramsey, Rowan Dished, Sega Steve, Stoneman, Tanuki Trev, Thurman Brown, and Young Money Swee. If you want to get shout out on the credits, you can back us at the $10 and up $10 and up tier. You get some really great benefits on Patreon, like early early content, early stuff, like even games, like you get early fan translations for games, which I need to put up. I've been slacking on that, so I'm gonna put that up today. So sorry, Malenko, I'm sucking pretty bad on that. That's my bad. But yeah, you could do that. I'll put that up there, write that up, and then yeah, you can also play Super Bomberman Fight, which is on there as well. You could try out early, so that's gonna be fun. What else do we have, Dave, that we could that people could do to support us?
You guys can buy a magazine. I would recommend buying one anyway, just so you have it like a collectible, because there's a limited number of them, but it will help us a little bit, and we would appreciate it. Also, you could you could buy a sweatshirt, or you could buy a t-shirt, or you could buy a tote bag, a mug, anything like that from our Threadless store, which is accessible on our site. You could do a one-time donation on our website under the menu. The last item, just donate one time. If you're not patron supporter, that's fine. You could like our stream, you could share it out, you could tell family and friends about it. You could there's a number of things you could do, and just invite people to the Discord. You know, if you know somebody who's a Saturn fan and you think they might like being a part of a big conversation, that's always revolving around Saturn or Sega consoles and stuff like that, invite them to our Discord and help us grow the community and get out more awareness and more love for Saturn. I think
Get
that's
the love, guys.
yeah, you know.
Come on, let your
You
light
can just
shine
watch
down.
NeoZed. You can just watch if you want to. That works too. I'm just glad you're here. And other than that, I think that we probably should roll credits, or we get wrapping this up.
Yep, just remember, guys, you must play Sega Saturn.
You must play Sega Saturn. See you next time.
See ya. Peace.
SHIRO ショット、しろ